Hello everyone, welcome to the Introduction to 14.0 New Features webinar. My name is Ravi Pavne and along with me our testing expert Sagar Dubal. In today's session, we are going to see the new features or functionalities available or which are introduced with the Tosca 14.0 tool. Before we go into the actual webinar, let me share you a little bit about housekeeping rules. First of all, we have the Q&A box through which you can send us the questions, and we will answer your questions through the same Q&A chat box. We will pick some of the questions, keep them at the end of the presentation and try to answer them. All the participants are muted during this session. However, you can still ask your questions via Q&A box, and we will try to answer all of your questions as best as we can. Also, after completing this session, you will receive the recording of this session. For more such recordings and user tutorials, go to our user tutorials page. From there, you can also register for upcoming webinars. Now, without wasting time, I'll hand over it to Sagar.
Thank you, Ravi. Hello, everyone. Wish you all a very happy and prosperous new year. This is a list of key feature enhancements in Tricentis Tosca 14.0, which we will walk through during the session today. Please refer to the Tosca manual release note section for the list of all enhancements in Tricentis Tosca 14.0. Let's begin.
Now, Tosca is powered by Vision AI. With Vision AI, Tricentis is entering into next generation of test automation. This will give ability to do AI-based testing. With AI-powered automation, user can test more. Vision AI is part of Tricentis Tosca. The core concept is understand and drive visual interfaces the same way humans do. For example, when we see a drop-down on a PDF, on a desktop application or on a web application, the underlying platform technology does not matter. We identify a drop-down by looking at it. Engine is being trained and is continuously learning. Vision AI will allow team to test sooner if there is a need to start automation based on mockups. So they can start automating based on mockups and use the same test as the application is developed. It's technology agnostic. In case there are frequent changes in the technology, this will avoid the rework. Vision AI will also help where technical steering is a challenge. Example, need of customization, automation of a virtual or remote applications running on Citrix, VMware, and other. So how does Vision AI works? So if, for example, if I have to select number of seats as 5, so it will work on a simple statement, select 5 from number of seats. So the two AI networks look for the label and the control and perform the matching. So in this case, it will look for a label number of seats, find the associated control and steer it as requested. Now let's see how it works. I will open Tosca and we will start creating an automated test case first using the mockup. Then we will execute the same test case on a desktop application and then on a web application, and we will also execute the same test case in a remote machine. So let me first show the mockup. So this is the PDF. We will create an module or create an automated test case for this mockup first, and then we will execute the test cases on other application. I will open Tosca. The overall approach process remains the same. So I will just right click, say scan, say select application. After this, we will select the required application, and over here we just need to ensure Vision AI is selected. So in this case, it's already selected. If you have to use the Vision AI engine, then you need to ensure you are selecting the Vision AI option over here. I will select the scan. Click on scan, and now it will load the controls. And then we will use the select on screen to select the controls on which we want to perform any action. Now I will use the select on screen option, start selecting the controls where as a user I want to perform any operation. I will select a few. I will just change title for readability, and as we will be executing the same test case on different set of application, we need to ensure that the title, the caption is proper. So I will just remove the text, and maybe I will just give some regular expression star. Okay, now let's see the properties of one of the control. So we can see over here, these are the technical properties. It's being identified by using control type as drop down and as a label. If we want to change the control type, we can just select the control, we can just change the control type, and we can close it, and I will say save it. Now the module is created. See, this is the module. Now we will create a test case using this module. I will just drag and drop this module under the test case section. I will just rename this test case, and now I will start entering the value. See, make as Audi, data manufacturer, number of seats, fuel type, list price, and say click. Now open the application. So let's first execute the test case on a .NET based application. So this is a desktop application. I will just first execute the test case over here. Select. So we have created the module by using the mockups, and then we are executing this test case in an actual application. It's still being steering, and the execution is complete. Now let's assume like the technology is changed. Application now, its application is available on a web interface. So I will just open an web application, and again what I will do, I will just open the same test case. So we can see over here the execution is complete. I will just open the same test case, and I will again execute it. Now the test case is changed, the test case is same. We have not done any changes to the test case. It's being steering, and it's working. So now this was on the local machine. Now let's see if we want to steer any application which is in any remote machine. So for this, again I will open a similar application, a remote machine. So this is my remote machine. We just open the page. Now in this case we will need to do one change, because as you see the caption might be different, so we will need to ensure that the caption is proper. So what I will do is like I will just jump to the respective module, and I will just change the caption so that it will, so what I'm doing is like it will handle both the cases like execution in a local machine and execution in a remote machine as well. So I've just changed the caption over here, and I will just execute this case now. Just trigger the, so it has opened the remote machine. It's selected the values and click on the next button. So this was about the Vision AI, which is the new feature available, and we have seen like we have created an automated test case by using the mockup, and then we have executed the same test case on the same application but on different technologies. Now let us see another scenario. I will just close this application. I will just open this. So this is, we can see like this is looking as a table, but if we will scan this will be a kind of a div structure. So let us first scan this using Tosca, and we will also see like how Vision AI will help in identifying this control as a table. So similar way, I will say select scan application. So over here we are seeing like how Vision AI will help to avoid any customization. So when you are doing any automation, if there is a need of an customization, using Vision AI, you can avoid that customization. So again over here I will select HTML only. I will just scan it. Let us first see that over here we can see there is no table control being seen. So even if I say select on screen, it's just a table of, we can say a table of divs. I will close the scan. I will again right click, scan application, and now this time I will select the Vision AI option and I will scan it. So it's loading the control. And now from here I will just right click over here and I will select this option, create user identified control. So a new window will open. And now from here we just need to select the area which we need to identify as a table. So in this case, like we'll just select this particular area. I want to identify this particular area as a table. We'll give a control name. We'll select the control type as table, and I will anchor this. I will add this as an anchor. So a new user identified control is created and we need to rescan again. So it will rescan again, and now we will see like if we will say select on screen, we will be able to identify this particular area as a table. So we should also be able to see table over here. So the table. So I will say select on screen. And this is being recognized as a table. So I will just save this and close it. Now let's go to Tosca again. We'll create another test case. I will just drag and drop this. So user identified control. So this is the table. We'll just select the values. See description. Just paste the content. Let's try to verify this. We'll just execute this. So execution is started. The execution is successful. You can see the result. It's successful. So this was about the Vision AI features. Now we will see the next feature is Automation Recording Assistant Era. Let's see what are the changes, new features within Era. I will first start the recorder and then launch the SAP application. So Era is a standalone recorder which will be mainly used by the business user. So a testing team can request a business user to capture a business flow for a particular transaction. The benefit is once the flow is recorded, that can be shared with the team and that subset can be imported into Tosca. That subset will have the modules, test cases, and most importantly, the test data. The automation tester can further enhance the recorded test case and then he can use the same in his test suite. So during this, we will create an VA01 or we will record an VA01 transaction. We will export that subset and we will see how that looks into Tosca. And I will also walk you through what are the new feature enhancements in Era in this release. So let's start. I will also start the SAP application. I will log in. Let's start the recording. So once I press enter, you can see the test step is getting captured over here. Let's start entering the value over the sales organization, distribution channel, division, sales office, and sales group. Press enter. You can see the tests are captured. Enter the sold to party. Enter the material details. So you can see like for a user, he's just doing his normal flow. There is no delay as such. And then we can save this. As this order number needs to be verified, we can also turn on the verification mode and we can verify this particular step. So let's capture this. Verification is done. We can turn off the verification mode. We can stop the recording as well. If a business user wants to share some specific comment, he can add a comment as well. Make the order number dynamic, as this will be changed during each run. So I will just save this comment. With this release, now there is a possibility to add manual test step. So the benefit of manual test step is when we are recording, if in a particular flow an OTP needs to be entered or there is some manual intervention, user can add a manual test step. So I will just mention some name, and let's say test manual desktop, and create a desktop. Another new feature is supported language. Now Era is being supported in different language. Apart from English, it's being supported in Dutch, France, and these are the other languages. So that's again beneficial for the business users. Let's go back and let's save this subset. So once I save this, save this. So from a feature perspective, we have seen adding a manual test step and support for different language. Now I can just go back. I will just go back to this screen and I will open. Now let us import the recorded subset. Right click, import recorded, select this option, import recorded test case from Era. Select the subset. Now let's see the subset. It has the modules and it has the test cases. So if you'll see the modules, all the controls are captured properly. Even table is captured as a table. And from a test case perspective, let's see the test case. These are the test step. This is the flow. These are the values are captured, and there was a comment mentioned by the business user. That comment is also captured, and this was the manual test step which was created. Now let us first enhance this test case as requested. So from an enhancement perspective, the automation tester can add the log on step, log out step, and he can add any dynamic expressions, such as over here we need to capture the dynamic expression. The order number is going to be generated runtime. It's going to be changed during each run. So I have just added that, and now this test case is ready to execute. We can even execute this particular test case. So let's execute this in a Scratchbook. We'll start with creation with VA01. So to party details are entered, material details are entered, transaction is being saved, verification is done, and this is the manual test step which we added. We can set this as say pass, close this, and the execution is complete. So this was about the Era. Now let's see the next enhancements.
So until now, we have seen the Vision AI feature enhancements within Automation Recording Assistant. Now we will see, now with 14.0, we can scan and steer the WPF application. I will open the sample WPF application and we will see how the controls are seen in the XScan window. Also open Tosca. Let me just scan this. I will right click, scan application. Let's see how the controls are seen. Now we can steer the standard controls such as button, checkbox, combo box, image, label, list box, and even the complex controls such as preview and table. The sample application, we can see the .NET engine is being selected. My solve window. We'll use the highlight selection option. So you can see the menu is being recognized. Button is being recognized. Radio button is being recognized. The combo box, app control, list box, preview, table. So these controls are now being recognized with Tosca 14.0, and you can create WPF modules using this. So this was for the WPF. Now let's look into the next topic. The next one is the API engine. With Tricentis Tosca 14.0 has added the new grant type authorization code with PKCE for authorization via OAuth 2.0. Let's see the same. Just go to the, we'll open the API scan. Go to the authorization, select the authorization as O.2.0, and now we can see a new grant type authorization code with PKCE is added. So this was about the enhancement within API engine. Now let's see the next feature. So now we have an for integration with Qtest, we have an option using which we can enable and disable the Qtest integration. By default, this option will be disabled. So let's see the same option. Go to the project options, and over here we can see Qtest integration add-in. This option, currently it's being enabled. I have enabled in my workspace, but by default it will be disabled. And this is another new property being added. So this was about the enhancement within the Qtest integration. Now let's see what's the next topic. So within SAP engine, now there is an option to skip the single sign-on. Now the SAP logon module, you can add a new module attribute that will allow you to skip the single sign-on SSO method, and you can use your username and password. So let's see in Tosca. I will just go to Tosca and just open the respective module. By default, this attribute will not be available. We need to add this attribute. The name and other things you can is available in the support manual as well. We will need to add this module, and we will need to add one configuration parameter. Parameter sets the value as true, and when you just drag this into test case, and over here we need to bypass single sign-on, set the value as true. So basically, in the existing SAP logon module, you will need to add one attribute, name as bypass single sign-on. Then, and for that attribute, add one parameter, set its value as true. And in the test case, you need to give the value as true. So this was about the enhancement within the SAP logon module. Now let's see the next one. Now with Tosca 14.0, you can steer the SAP Fiori tables that contains the select on plugins, the SAP Fiori analytical. You can also steer SAP Fiori analytical table as table, and we have also added support from some complex SAP Fiori controls such as toolbar, date picker, and calendar. So for the next topic, so we have covered the following topic, and for the next topic, for the Tosca data integrity, I will request Ravi, who is our DI trainer and is from Academy team. He will walk us through the enhancements within the Tosca data integrity feature. Over to you, Ravi.
Thank you, Sagar. Now with Tosca 14.0 for Tosca data integrity test, there are two enhancements. One is data integrity agent and another is bulk column renaming. We will see both of them one by one. Let's first see about data integrity agent. So first of all, when should you use this feature or where it is useful? Generally, your testing environment determines whether you should use the Tosca Data Integrity Agent or Tosca Data Integrity Executor to run your test. How? So if you are using the JDBC drivers, or if you have the requirements, if you have a data source which needs the JDBC drivers and want to run your test on a remote on Windows or Linux, then in that case you can use the Tosca Data Integrity Agent. So this is something if you have the JDBC drivers and want to execute the test on the remote first for data Tosca Data Integrity Agent. Now, if you have the ODBC drivers and now you want to run your test on Windows and want to execute on the same machine on which Tosca Commander is installed, then you can go ahead and use the Tosca Commander Integrity Executor. Now, next thing is what is the data integrity agent? So we'll see what exactly it is and what it does for us. So the data integrity agent allows you to run the data comparisons on local or remote system. This means that you can install Tosca Commander locally and use the lightweight data integrity agent to run your comparisons on a remote system, such as a cloud platform. Running these comparisons close to where the data is kept or stored makes it faster because less data needs to get transferred. So exactly this is what the data integrity agent. Now, which test run with data integrity agents? With the preview complete row by row comparison DI agent module, you can run your reconciliation test on an agent that is installed either locally or on the remote computer. With the preview complete row by row comparison DI agent module, you can run your reconciliation test on an agent that is installed either locally or on the remote computer. It also, it is offering the same functionality as the row by row comparison module. However, it supports only the JDBC connections and runs on Windows as well as Linux systems. With the preview DB export module DI agent, you can also test your database on your local or remote agent. So database testing is also available. Like the Tosca Data Integrity Executor, the Data Integrity Agent also logs all the informations about your data integrity tests. So this is also more useful. Now the next feature, we'll move on to the next feature which is introduced, which is bulk column renaming. Let me explain about the need for give you the need for this before. In test, generally when you create the test using the file load into caching database module or reconciliation test using row by row comparison module, if you have requirements to rename the columns in more quantity, for example, I have more than 1,000 columns in my table. So if I wanted to rename them, all of them, I have to do them, I have to add them one by one manually. So it is very much complex and time consuming as well. Now you can copy the column names from a file and rename all the columns in a single step instead of adding the each column name entry or new column name entry manually. How? As Tricentis Tosca 14.0, you can easily rename columns in bulk. Like when you work with the file load into caching database module or you are performing a reconciliation test, you can upload the file which has the column names. Now, how this is going to happen, let's see. So I have prepared a test or demo scenario over here. Before we go ahead and I will show you the demo scenario. Let me show you the modules which has the changes. If you go to file load into caching database module, you can see now the column renaming has an option to load the file with the CSV file, text.csv file, which has the table names for both the new value and the old value. And you can see also the row by row comparison module, which we generally use for the reconciliation, that also has in the source. If you go ahead and see the column options, has the column remap column names option has the option to load the file. So let's see, and let me show you the exact scenario which I have prepared for this demonstration. I have a file, CSV file called sales order details.py, which has the header row with the dollar symbol at the beginning and at the end of each column like this. And I wanted to remove this dollar symbol while loading itself. So how I have prepared my file to upload, because I have this situation or scenario for each and every columns, and I have so many columns. So for this is the demonstration file, so it has near about 10 to 12 columns, but you may have a situation or face a scenario where you have more than 1,000 columns. In such a case, it will be not feasible, or uh, it is more complex to add each column name and their new name one by one manually. So what you can do, you can create such a file, so you can have the column names in such a way where you can have the first row as the current column name, semicolon mapped column name. So every new row should have the current column name and the mapped column name which you wanted to map, or the new name which you want for that column. So likewise, I have prepared for my file or my test, and I'm going to use the same. So let's see how I have used. I have created a file, created a test case which loads the file into the caching database. Uh, and you can say I have added a test step using the file load into caching database module. Here you can see I have added the file path which I wanted to load. Then the delimiter for that file is pipe. After that, I am renaming all the column names which are there in my file using my file called column alias, which I have already shown you. So let's go ahead and let me execute this file. Let's see what happens ahead, or what happens, whether we get the. Okay, so you can see the test step or test case is succeeded. Let me show you the results. You can see in the log info, a table is created, sales order details with 9 columns, and the column names doesn't have the dollar symbol at the beginning and at the end. So this is how you can rename your columns in a bulk quantity. If you have more or large number of columns to rename at the same time, you can create this file. Even you can share this file in case if you have the shareable multi-user environment and your other colleagues are also working, you can share such files easily, and so that they can also use such a file for their data testing. So this is it for Tosca DI new features from my side. So now let's move on to the question and answer session. We have picked up few questions. We will also try to answer few of them. We have a very first question, is there any separate license required for Vision AI? So let me answer this. No, Vision AI does not need any separate license, as Vision AI is exclusively available to Tricentis Tosca subscription customers, and it is part of a Tricentis Tosca commander. So it doesn't need any separate license. Next question is, can we rescan the modules created with Xscan using Salesforce Rescan? So we have modules created with the Salesforce scan, and the Salesforce rescan does not work on modules you have created with the Xscan. It means that if you try rescanning the modules which are created with the normal Xscan, you will not able to rescan those modules. So this is one of the conditions to rescan the Salesforce. Use the Salesforce rescan and rescan the modules. Your modules should be they should be created with the Salesforce scan only. Now, next question is related to Tosca DI. Does the data integrity agent need a separate license? So, very nice question. I really appreciate that. The data integrity agent requires a DI designer license or a DI execution only license, depending on how you trigger your tests. Now we have another question. Does the .NET engine also supports the third-party WPF controls like Infragistix and Telric? So I would like to answer this like the plain WPF controls are supported and the third-party WPF controls will require the customizations. We have few more questions like where can we find the more details on Vision AI? Next one is also similar. Where can I get the additional details about the Tricentis Vision AI? Also, there is one more question. Where can I get the list of all key features released in version Tosca 14.0? So we will get the answer for all of these. Let me open. Okay, so once you are logged into Tricentis support portal, just navigate towards the Tricentis Tosca manual 14.0, and in here you will see the Vision AI section in which you will get all the details or detailed manual of Tricentis Vision AI. And if you would like to switch towards the key features, you can also log into our support portal, and on the manual itself you can see the key features or the new features for Tosca 14.0. That's it for today's session, and thank you everyone for joining today's session. Have a good day ahead.